Hi, this is Laura with Untitled Typewriters. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to show off a 1970s, not exactly sure the date, either 69 through 73 probably, Galaxie Deluxe. Now we have repainted this one in a really pretty Saint Tropez blue. Think of the Caribbean. So pretty. Okay, this is an all manual typewriter with a 12-inch carriage. If you've heard my videos before, you know that I like the 12-inch carriage for crafters because you can use larger paper. It just gives you a little more options there. Also, your typewriters, especially these manual ones, actually any of them, you can certainly use cardstock in it if that is something that you want to write a postcard or fill out invitations or something like that. They certainly will go in there just fine. Let's go ahead and take a look at this typewriter, and then I'll do a demo to show you how it works. So again, here's your carriage. Your paper is going to go right in here. Margins are set by pressing and dragging. Okay, so those work just fine. Your paper hand holder is right there. That comes in very handy. To release the carriage, you just pull the lever that's behind your handlebar. Just pull it forward. It's on both sides, and your carriage right there. Now the bell sounds kind of weird on this one, and I'm gonna say it's not even working. It just stopped working there. So this one, the bell is not working. This is your paper release, because if you load the paper and it's crooked, you want to release the tension on that so you can adjust the paper. Your paper guide is on the left side, and that just comes in handy for maybe you're typing an envelope, again, a postcard or something like that. It just helps you load your paper straight and easy. Also, if you're doing a multiple page project, you want to use the paper guide. That way your margins are going to be exactly the same on each piece of paper. Now right here is your line indicator, because when you get to the end, oh, there's the bell again. Either way, even if it's intermittent, I'm going to say it's not working great. It's there, but it's not working great. When you hit the return handle, it's going to advance either 1, 2, or 3 lines depending on how you have that set. Now, when you are typing and you get to the end, it sounds really good there. When you hit your margin, it's going to stop completely. You can't type, you can't move forward. There's nothing wrong with your typewriter. You just need to hit MR, which means margin release. You'll hear that click, and now you can keep going if you want. And then just hit your return handle so you can advance to the next line. Now when you turn the handle, you'll hear it click. It's going to click every half of a line. And let's say you're going to use lined paper and you're going to type out something that has or you're going to fill in a form where you have to get it lined up just perfectly. That little half line option is not going to work for you. So what you need to do is you need to press this button right here on the left side while you're turning, and it releases the roller so you can do your fine-tuning adjustments. Now this little tab that I just put down right there, that'll do the exact same thing as well. Just remember to re-engage it before you move on. Okay, now I'm going to move this to the left, open up the top. I don't want the handle to scrape the top, so always make sure your carriage is to the left. You'll see inside that we have installed a fresh ribbon for you, and this one wasn't all the way down. There's a little metal pin that sticks up down here, and it needs to go in one of those 4 holes. Okay, so this ribbon will last you a long time. There's a lot of ink in there. The ribbon may be short, but the ink is long. And when I mean by short, when you're typing away, you're going to get to the end of the spool, and everything on this typewriter may stop. Or if it doesn't stop, your font's going to get really faint. You need to stop. Stop typing and reverse the direction of your ribbon. This is the most important information that I can give you, because this will solve 90% of the issues that you have with your typewriter. I am not joking. After doing this for a little over 2 years, I can tell you 9 times out of 10, it has to do with the ribbon needing to be reversed. And I admit I still forget when I'm typing, and all of a sudden my typewriter just stops working and I'm like, what? And then it takes me about 2 seconds and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to reverse the direction of my ribbon. Boom. You just do it right there with this little tab. It's such a slight movement, and now your ribbon is reversed until you use up that ink or you just want to change the ribbon. That's fine. And when you're ready to change the ribbon, you can visit our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com, and we have ribbons there for sale. Okay, I'm going to put that back down, and also make sure you reference the image of the escapement here, because you need to thread the ribbon properly. If it's not threaded properly, it's not going to work. So make sure you find that image, screenshot it or whatever, or reference it so that when it's time to change your ribbon, you can see how to thread it. You've got several guide wires here, black on top, red on bottom. Okay, down here we have our tab, the set, the clear. This is your color selector, and this is your LMH. Just determines how hard the strike bars hit the paper. It's a personal preference. Really, you won't see much of a difference. Okay, this is a manual typewriter. It has a power, regular space, and a power space. And whenever I do power space, I've broken enough mugs that I'm nervous, so I always put my hand here when I use power space, because that is a common issue, is when you hit the power space, sometimes that carriage just goes flying. But this one works just fine, which is great. Okay, let's go ahead and add a piece of paper. I'm going to bring this margin in. I'm going to pop this guy up. You just set it there. No need to press it down in there. You just set it, and then you just turn the handle. And I can tell I got it crooked, so I like to bring it up. And hold on, I'm going to move this down a bit. And you can see how crooked that is. I mean, what the heck? Anyway, that happens. So you just release the paper release button or lever there and straighten that out. Put it back. There you go. And then now we'll just come back down and we're ready to type. So this is a 1970s Smith Corona Galaxie. So this has a bigger font. This is what I would call a 10 CPI. That means characters per inch. So it's going to be easier to read, but you also will have less lines per paper. So just whatever you want. If you're a crafter, you're going to want the larger fonts, because it's just going to show up better on your crafts, unless you're looking for teeny tiny. It just depends on what you want, but typically you would want the larger font. Okay, let's go ahead and test out these keys. I like to mention that for those of you who have typewriters and you're new to typewriters, one of the things I recommend is to keep mineral spirits and Q-tips on hand, because sometimes, oh, sorry, I'm talking and not paying attention. Keys get stiff and sticky. These are old, and so over the years, all the dirt and the dust and grime that's in the air settles into around the keys and in the escapement area, and it makes it stiff and sticky. The last thing you want to put on that is oil. Do not oil your typewriter. It's a big no-no. But if you just keep it, if you start to feel it getting a little stiff, just wipe it with a little Q-tip, and what's happening is all that dirt and grime from over the years is getting pulled out, and you just want to clean that out. And sometimes you can get like a spray air can and just spray down in there after you've cleaned it too. Okay. So this one is working really well, and it's a good beginner typewriter. However, it takes a little more effort to type on. So I wouldn't recommend this for the littlest of kids. You know, maybe your teenager or something like that would certainly be fine, but I would say like under 10, they're going to have a little more trouble typing on this one, because the keys are further apart and it takes a little more effort to type on it. This has a great feel. You can just feel how firm and solid it is. Wow, this is an excellent typing machine. I don't recommend it for really fast typists. Probably an electric would be better. This one I can tell is not going to keep up with a super fast typist. But if you're a slow and steady, very methodical, very a person who likes to ruminate while you write, this is going to be an excellent choice for you. And it has a very pleasant sound. Some typewriters that tick, 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 tick can be a little irritating or just, you know, neutral. But this one is a very pleasant tick, tick, tick. I really like it. Okay, so I'll take a photo of this, but again, overall, this is an excellent typewriter, a good beginner typewriter for those who are teenager and older. And I love the color, so it's going to bring a nice pop of color and just a bit of happiness to somebody's room. Thanks so much for watching. You all have a blessed day.